Hello and welcome to Procoda. This is Samujwal Kumar. Today we are here to talk about a subject that has been progressive enough to extinguish the gap between fiction and reality and has enormously contributed to the development of technology and the human race as a whole: computer science. Other than the so called middle school definition, let's look into the unexplored angles of defining computer science. Coming straight to the point, what is computer science? Well, to keep things simple, you can imagine it to be just a smart process of solving problems. So, what exactly does solving a problem mean? In very clear terms, solving a problem is nothing but taking a user defined input, working on it or processing it, and, as per the conditions and operations involved, giving the expected output. You might have heard the term called IPO cycle or input, process, output cycle. It pretty much sums up the process of solving a problem. In a similar way, how would we define programming? As stated earlier, computer science is a smart way of solving problems, and programming is simply the approach or the way to express your solution. Programming lets you solve complex mathematical and logical sums in a matter of seconds. That's what makes it so appealing. To dwell a bit deeper, there are two types of programming languages: procedure oriented programming, or POP, and object oriented programming, or OOP. Object oriented programming, that is OOP, is at the core of Java. In fact, all Java programs are at least to some extent object oriented. Object oriented programming is so integral to Java that it is mandatory for you to understand its basic principles before you begin writing even your first or the most basic Java program. Therefore, let's discuss the theoretical aspects of OOPS with Arjun Gupta.
All computer programs consist of two elements, code and data. Furthermore, a program can be conceptually organized around its code or around its data using a defined format known as syntax. That is, some programs are written around what is happening and others are written around who is being affected. The process-oriented approach characterizes a program as a series of linear steps. The process-oriented model can be thought of as code working on data. That is, the data is arranged around the code in this case. Procedural languages such as C employ this model to considerable success. However, problems start appearing as programs grow larger and more complex. To manage this increasing complexity, the second approach, called object-oriented programming, was conceived. Object-oriented programming organizes a program around its data, that is, objects. An object-oriented program can be characterized as data controlling access to code. As you will gradually see, by switching data, the controlling entity, you can achieve several organizational benefits. But programming requires you to step out of your mental comfort zone of remembering ideas and logics and start implementing a rational approach. This is where young school students start finding it difficult, and so did I. So if you are feeling similarly uneasy with the idea of trying something new, or even if you have a prior knowledge but are looking to fill in gaps in your concepts, or if you're particularly self-taught, realize you are very much in good company. And ultimately, what matters in this course is not so much where you end up relative to your classmates, but where you end up relative to yourself when you began, which is today.